Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, and it's Winterreise Wednesday. Oh, yes. And today we're talking about a really demented version of it. It's this one. Look at the cover. Oh, my God. Just look at the cover. Isn't that nuts? Yeah, exactly. It really sort of entices you to want to listen to the piece, doesn't it? I mean, it's such a wonderful concept. Total insanity and distraction, craziness. But we have Julian Prégardien, tenor. This is the father and son team. He's the other one, Christian Prégardien, or whatever is Christophe Prégardien, whatever his name is, his dad or his cousin or his uncle. I don't really care. I lose track anyway. But this is a composed interpretation for tenor and small orchestra by Hans Zender. And just how composed it is, we can glean from the fact that most recordings of Die Winterreise last about, 70 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes, a little bit less, a little bit more, on average. And this sucker is 84 minutes. Now, that doesn't mean because the tempos are slow. They're not. It's because there's so much extra music that Mr. Zender has added in the form of, preludes and interludes and things to the various songs. They're weird and they have nothing to do with the songs themselves sometimes. And, but the actual concept, is kind of interesting. I mean, you can make an argument for turning it into an orchestral song cycle, which has been done strictly along the lines of what Shubert actually wrote. But this is not. This is a thing. And let me see. There's of course a huge long note. This is on the Alpha label, by the way, and it's conducted by Robert Reimer with the Deutsche Radio Philharmonie. Now the ensemble, let's get this straight, is 2 violins, 2 violas, cello, double bass, 2 flutes, 2 oboes, 2 clarinets, 2 bassoons, horn, trumpet, trombone, harp, accordion, guitar, 1, 2, 3, 4 percussionists. Oh, yes, because it's such a percussive piece. And, of course, aside from the accordion, how could you possibly do Shubert without a saxophone? So, yes, there's a saxophone in there. And wait a minute. Let's get to the English bit here. Here we are. Let's see, by Thomas Sendorf. Okay. He wrote a note, and Zender wrote a note. Oh, my God. Let me give you a sense of where we're going here. I play Shubert, says the interpreter. Literally, this means he plays the role of Shubert. Where? ? In a great theatrical drama whose beginning we are trying to understand and whose end has not yet been reached. The interpreter will only fill the role of Shubert if, for the duration of the performance, he identifies his ego as far as possible with what has emerged in himself over time as the embodiment of that wonderful man. He will have to summon everything he has learned as a musician and still open himself to the piece, Winterreise, in such a way that his own imagination will not only experience this piece anew, but also experience it differently, not differently in the sense of an arbitrary notion, no, a wild idea, but insofar as he surrenders to his own intuition for a moment or a few moments, as if he had to experience the painful birth process of this composition in its entirety. The master with whom he is in contact may perhaps then inspirit him in such a fashion that this identification activates his own creative powers in the same breath. Yeah. Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself. Hell no. Wouldn't have even tried. Yeah, okay. So, this is one of those very intellectual, avant-garde sort of, dare I say, bullshit pieces of philosophizing. Doesn't matter. What matters is that it's really kind of fun to listen to. It is. It's enjoyable. And it is a very different take on the piece. A modernized, rather more, as you can see, expressionist take on the piece. I mean, Julian Prégardien sings it very beautifully, and he sings it straight, actually. I mean, the actual vocal line, which is more or less untouched. So that's okay. I mean, as a performance of Winterreise, it's all right, but you're not getting it because it sounds like other Winterreises. You're getting it because it doesn't sound like other Winterreises, right? And it's a wonderful performance of this version. Now, whether you're up for 84 somewhat avant-garde interlude, postlude, prelude minutes of Winterreise with 4 percussionists, an accordion, and a saxophone, as well as all those other instruments, guitars, and what are the other things? Well, that's up to you. As a change of pace, this is quite recommendable. It really is. And this version's been recorded before, by the way. And I think this alpha one is really the best of them. I don't know if I've heard all the ones that existed, but I've heard a couple, and I really like this one. I just think that, as a concept, better to just listen to it for what it is than to read what they say about it, because that is complete pseudo-intellectual gibberish, as so often happens in the world of classical music when these people try and talk about what they're doing. It doesn't matter why they did it. They did it. They did it. They had a good time doing it. They, prepared and recorded a splendid performance of it. And that's really all you need to know. So if you're up for a Winterreise with a big difference from the usual thing, give this a shot. I think you'll be happy. You may not play it every day, but, once or twice in your life when you're on the verge of suicide, why not? So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.